This is Algebra lesson 7.5. Adding and subtracting polynomials. Okay, here we go. Lots of ways to do this, people. There's actually two ways of adding or subtracting polynomials. Okay? Two ways of doing this. One is the horizontal way. Okay? And that looks like this. If I have this, and I'm going to add that to okay, there's the question. You see the question? Right. What am I adding here? Tell me, what am I actually adding? I'm adding, right, but what am I adding? I'm adding, what is this guy? What would you call him? What would you call him? He's a trinomial, right? So I'm adding a trinomial with a trinomial. Agreed? You see them? Okay. The way you add them is very simple. I mean, this is an easy one. You're going to go like this. You're going to take whatever's in here, each one of these guys, and you're literally going to kind of match them up with like terms. Because, you know, I can't, if I have 2x and I add 3y, can I combine them and make that like 5xy? Am I allowed to do that? No. The only time you can add or subtract polynomials or monomials is if they have identical terms, right? They have to be identical, right? I can't even do this. No, you can't add them. That's just an x. That's an x squared. I can't add them together. They have to be identical. Make sense? When we say like terms, I mean alike. Okay, so we have them. Here's the deal. I have an x squared here. Is there an x squared over here that I could possibly combine with that 2x squared? So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 2x squared plus, it's important that you grab that, plus negative 4x squared. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Okay. 2x squared plus, what does plus minus mean? Minus. So what is 2x squared minus 4x squared? Negative 2x squared. They're gone. I have a 5x. I have an x here. Is there just a plain old x over here that I can combine that with? What is plus 5x plus, again, plus 6x? Plus means plus. So what is 5x plus 6x? Plus 11x. And then they're gone. And then I have a negative 7 plus a positive 3. So what is negative 7 plus 3? Negative 4. When you're done, you have to look at this and make sure, is this written in standard form? Everything now gets written in standard form. All the time. Any answer you give me, it gets written in standard form. Standard form means you put the highest degree first, right? So, okay. Is that written in standard form? Yeah, we're done. Okay. Does that make sense? It's real simple. Now, so here's our answer. Let's do it a different way. This time we're going to do it the vertical way. In parentheses, 2x squared plus 5x minus 7, right? Plus, now here's the deal. I'm going to line things up, right? I got to line things up here with this guy over here. I have a 3. Where am I going to put him? Underneath the 7, right? I have a negative 4x squared. That is underneath the x squared, right? I have a plus 6x. That's going to go underneath the x. Does that make sense? You see how I've lined them up in columns here? I've lined them up in columns, and they each have matching. The only why you put them on top of each other in columns that match. You wouldn't put them in the same column if they didn't match because you can't add them up. Does that make sense? So now that I've done that, we've done something like this before, haven't we? The vertical one. We are going to make sure, oh, it's a plus out here. Don't forget. That means I'm going to start consulting. So I'm going to go, okay, what is negative 7 plus a positive 3? What is that? Negative 4. What is 5x plus a positive 6x plus 11x? What is 2x squared plus a negative? Ooh, plus negative means minus 2x squared minus 4x squared, negative 2x squared. There, I'm done. Look, same answer. You see what I'm talking about? Two ways of doing it. Same answer. Does that all make sense? Is anybody here confused by the method? The only tricky things about this is this. the only tricky thing is that sometimes they give you ones that are a little bit like this. 3y plus y to the third minus 5. And I'm going to add that to 4y squared minus 4y plus 2y to the third plus 8. Now, let's do this. We'll do it both ways again. Okay, I'm going to show you. Well, I'll show you the vertical way first. Okay? The vertical way first. Take the first equation, set it up, lay it down there. How should you do it? In standard form, right? So I'm going to go y to the third. Now look here, I have a y squared here. That means I got to make room for that, right? I have to leave room for that. Y squared, and then plus 3y minus 5. You see what I'm talking about here? Columns. And then it's a plus out here. And so then now I'm going to go, okay, I have a 4y squared here minus 4y plus 2y to the third, and then I have plus 8. Do you see what I'm talking about? There's a gap here. What goes there? I wouldn't put a 0. I would put a 0y squared plus 0y squared. Just so it reminds you that you're in columns here, right, of like terms. Does that make sense? Okay. You don't have to put that 0. You could leave it totally blank, totally fine. Up to you. It will matter when you get to subtraction, though. I'll show you. Anyway, let's do this now. What is negative 5 plus positive 8? What is negative 5 plus 8? Plus 3. Notice I put a plus in front of it. Why do I put a plus there? Because it matters. It's not the front. The only one that you're not going to have a symbol for is the very front one. Right? 3y plus a negative 4y. In other words, 3y minus 4y is minus y. 0 plus a positive 4 is 4y squared, and then y to the third plus, so it's 3y to the third. Does that make sense? Notice this. If you circled this and you gave this to me, I mark it wrong. What did I do wrong? Where's my mistake? I forgot the plus sign right there. You forget that, I mark it wrong. You can't have 3y to the third, 4y squared. That's a multiplication, right? Okay. The other way of doing this one, I'm going to make the eraser bigger so it doesn't take me as long. The other way of doing this, and listen, I don't really care which method you use. I really don't. I don't know which one I would use. I know them both, so they're both simple. You know, this one might be the easiest. I don't know. 3y, and you go over here. Is there any match for 3y over here? There is. So 3y and then a minus 4y. What is 3y plus? Don't forget the plus. 3y plus 4y is negative y. We can do that like this. It's just at the very end, what do we have to make sure we do? Put it in standard form. Okay, so the y's are gone. And then I have y to the third. Any match? Plus 2y to the third is plus 3y to the third. They're gone. I have a negative 5. Oops. Negative 5 plus 8 is plus 3. They're gone. And then I only have this. I only have 4y squared. Now, you do need to do this. You need to go 0 plus 4y squared is 4y squared. I'll explain to you when we do subtraction why that's important. Is this done? 3y to the third plus 4y squared minus y plus 3. Third degree, second degree, first degree, no degree. Right? There it is. Does that make sense? Okay. I am now going to, I'm going to show you how to do subtraction. Before I give you any practice, I'm going to show you how to do subtraction. It's no different than what we've done. It's a simple one. 3 minus 2x plus 2x squared minus 4x minus 5 plus 3x squared. Okay. Doing it the vertical way, look, watch. It goes 3 minus negative 5. Do you see why? I mean, if you don't pay attention to that negative there, you're done. You're dead meat. What is 3 What is 3 minus a negative 5? That's 8, right? Because it's 3 plus 5. 8. What is negative 2x minus 4x? What is negative 2x minus 4x? Negative 6x. What is 2x squared minus 3x squared? Minus x squared. Rewrite it. Negative x squared minus 6x plus 8. And we're done. Is this super difficult arithmetic? No. Do you need to be meticulous and make sure and be very careful and go, wait a second, which one? Oh yeah, I got it's minus. You see what I'm saying? You got to just be careful. That same exact question again written horizontally. Probably my preference, but whatever. 3 minus 2x. Oops. 3 minus 2x plus 2x squared minus, I'm out of room. 4x. Oops. Minus 5 plus 3x squared. Rewrite it horizontally now. I'm gonna put it in order. I have x squared, so that's the big one. 2x squared. I have minus 2x plus 3 in parentheses minus 4. Oops, that's not true. Minus, there's a plus 4x here. There is a plus 3x squared here. And there is a minus 5 here. And this is where you're going to go. 3 minus a negative 5 makes this plus 8. Negative 2 minus a positive 4x is a minus 6x. And 2x squared minus 3x squared is negative x squared. The reason why I like the horizontal way is because when you're done, it's already in standard form. Makes sense? You already put stuff in standard form. I don't care which one you use. Here's the tricky part. The tricky part of this is sometimes they go like this. 7p plus 4p to the third minus 8 minus 3p squared plus 2 minus 9p. Now, horizontal. Horizontal means this, right? 7p minus a negative 9p. 7p minus a negative 9p. Minus a negative means add. 7p plus 9p is 16p. They're gone. 4p to the third. So we have 4p to the third, and you go minus, and then is there any match? Yeah. So then what is it? It's just plus 4p to the third. It's minus 0. Okay, gone. Negative 8 minus a positive 2. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. Gone. I have this 3p squared here. This is the part where a lot of people just go, oh, 3p squared. Plus 3p squared. Not true. Why not? It's, oh, is that an ant? Gross. It is 0 minus 3p squared. You see what I'm saying? It's 0 minus 3p squared, which makes that negative 3p squared. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. It's a minus 3p squared.
So it's just like a imaginary theory, right?
Exactly. Rewrite this 4p to the third minus 3p squared plus 16p minus 10. Now we're done in standard form. I'm going to rewrite the same one. Actually, I'll just backspace. Okay, horizontal method. Put them in their columns. I have a p to the third. That's the biggest one. So I have 4p to the third. The next biggest is plus, nope. I have a p squared here, but not with this guy, so I'm going to leave it blank. So plus 7p minus 8, right? Minus. Now I have 3p squared. Ooh, 3p squared. I have plus 2, and I have a minus 9p. I've got lots of holes. Yes? Okay. What goes in the holes? Zeros, right? Plus 0, plus 0. Negative 8 minus a positive 2. In other words, negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. 7p minus negative 9p. Ooh, minus a negative means plus. 7p plus 9p is plus 16p. 0 minus 3p squared. 0 minus 3p squared is negative 3p squared. And then 4p to the third minus 0 is plus 4p to the third. Don't need that plus sign. I don't want to see it. If it's in front and it's a positive, don't put a plus sign, right? There's our answer. Same one we got before. Make sense? Okay. Not difficult. Let's see if you can do it. Let me give you a couple of samples. Let's do kind of an easy one here. We'll do the more difficult one. We'll go y to the fourth minus 3y plus 7 plus 2y to the third plus 2y minus 2y to the fourth minus 11. I don't care what method you use. Choose your method. Okay? Either one. I would, since I know how to do both equally, which one requires the least amount of work? I would think this one does. This one, because I've written it once. I'm going to have to probably write it. It depends. It depends. If I haven't written it at all, if I haven't written it down at all, and when I write it, I'm going to write it horizontally. If I have to write it once like this, then I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to rewrite it again. Does that make sense? If you guys have a book that is a throwaway book, does anybody have a throwaway book? You know what I mean? Like, then leave it. You know what I mean? And just start doing it in your, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Y to the fourth plus, and I look over here for a match, a negative 2y to the fourth. So plus minus means minus. So y to the fourth minus 2y to the fourth is, what is that? Negative y to the fourth. Gone, gone. Negative 3y plus, match, plus 2y. So negative 3y plus 2y is minus y. Gone, gone. 7 plus a negative 11 is negative 4. Gone, gone. I have one left. Oh, 2y to the third. It's 0 plus 2y to the third is simply plus 2y to the third. Am I done? No, rewrite it. Negative y to the fourth plus 2y to the third minus y minus 4. Now I'm done. How many of you got that? What happened? Why didn't you get that?
I got plus 1.
Well, look, it's negative 3y, right? Plus 2y. What is negative 3 plus 2? What's negative 3 plus 2? What? I'm sorry, what? Negative 1. Oh, right. Negative 1, it means negative 1y, which is negative y. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. Try another one. We'll do a minus this time. Yeah, I'll give you a good one. Exciting. It's number 2A at the bottom of 434 if you want to know. It's 2A at the bottom of 434. I would do this horizontally just because it's easier, you know, because it's already written down. Okay, so let's do it. I have 4x to the third minus, so important, negative 2. So minus a negative means add, right? So 4x to the third plus 2x to the third is 6x to the third. Gone, gone. Negative 3x squared minus a positive x squared, right? So negative 3x squared minus a positive x squared is negative 4x squared. Boom, boom. Right? 6x minus, wait a second, 6x minus, oh, there's nothing there. So that's just plus 6x. Negative 4 minus a negative 2, that means negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. It's already written in standard form. We're done. How many of you got that? Does it make sense, people, what you did or did not do? Okay. I mean, we could sit here and practice this all day, and each time people are going to miss some, not because you don't know how to do it, but because you're not meticulous, right? You're not thinking. You got to sit there and you got to pay attention to the positives and the negatives and what's the deal, and right? If you're going to fly through this, you're going to make small mistakes. These are long problems just because there's so much to write down. And don't make mistakes. Okay, let me get you your homework. This is all it. That's it. If you can do all this, you're good. Just a matter of meticulousness. Meticulousness. Page 436, 10 through 22 even.